What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I am Dylan, the TechnoGiz guy, and today I'm going to show you how to do a highly available Pi-hole DNS. Right off the bat, let's get something squared away. The hat. I figured after my last video, if you haven't seen it, check it out up here. Needed to make sure we were still on peaceful terms. So I bought this hat. And I actually have one of their little tech sacks coming in because I want to try using it for like a travel bag because I travel a lot for my day job. Anyway, today we're going to set up highly available Pi-hole. And we're going to do it without Gravity Sync. Now, most of the tutorials on YouTube that you're going to see right now are going to show you Gravity Sync. Gravity Sync is great. I have no problems with it. In fact, it's running right now on my production system. However, I found out today, while I was going to make this video, that Gravity Sync has been deprecated. It still works, and you can still run it if you choose to, but it will not work after they upgrade Pi-hole to its 6.0 version base. Right now we're still on 5. I believe the current version is 5.14. I could be wrong on that, but I don't know when they're going to upgrade to 6, but it does say right on the GitHub repository for Gravity Sync that after the upgrade to 6, it will not work. Well, that's going to be a problem. How are we going to fix that problem? We're going to fix that problem with a different program that does the same thing.
Wow.
Let's jump over to the computer. So this lovely person has made a program called Orbital Sync. Orbital Sync is still in active development, and it's pretty easy to set up. So there's not a whole lot of documentation here. There's this on how to get started. On their website, there's a quick little kind of getting started. This is basically just their GitHub page. You can go into the configuration, and you can see all the different little variables you can do, and if they're required. You can run this without Docker, but their guide is involving Docker, and they recommend it. I kind of recommend it too. I'm going to show you how to set it up on Docker on my machine, but I'm going to be moving it to my production Docker server once the production Docker server is fixed. The other thing you're going to need is a couple of Pi-holes. So you can do physicals, you can do VMs. I am actually just going to spin up 2 containers really quick with Pi-hole on them. I'm not going to show you how to set up Pi-hole because it's really easy, but I'm also not even going to really do it. So I'm going to use the Pi-hole LXC script from the Proxmox Helper Scripts website just because it's a lot faster. I'm just going to run everything as default and then clone it so we have 2 of them. Okay, so we have our 2 Pi-holes. I'm going to take a note of their IP addresses to make it a little easier. VS Code popped up. We're going to be doing some more work in VS Code here in a bit. Once you install from the script, if you're using the script, you want to come into the root console of your container and run this command, pi-hole-a-p, enter a new password. We got a new password. Cool. So now, let's go make sure everything's working. Okay, we got 1 Pi-hole up. Okay, we got 2 Pi-holes up. So we have 2 Pi-holes. I'm gonna go in here and change the host name just so that way we are able to tell when we fail over later. So now that we have our 2 Pi-holes, you can see this one says YouTube hole 1, this one says YouTube hole 2. So right now, you've set up Pi-hole, you could just point at one of these and go off to the races. Except what happens when you start getting into Pi-hole and using things like local DNS? Not just the ad blocking, but like, let's say I wanted to do like a router.local, right? So I can do router.local and do 10.0.1.1. And if I was using this DNS server as my DNS server on my computer, I could use router.local to get to my gateway. And I actually do use this in my network. My network is heavily reliant upon DNS working. And I don't mean DNS to Cloudflare or Google. I mean internal DNS. Which is why I have 2 Pi-hole instances, and that number is probably going to go up to 3 here soon. So now that we have Pi-hole, let me show you how we can actually go about getting it synced up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up this Docker Compose file that we got from the Orbital Sync GitHub page. I'm going to put in my host password, which is like and subscribe. So this is all you need in the Docker Compose file. You can go through the options that he has and do more. You can set up SMTP if it fails or if it succeeds or whatever you want. There's a lot of options. This is all you need to get it working with two Pi-hole instances. You need your base URL, you need your host password, and then you need your secondary host base URL and password. So that's going to be your IP addresses of the two nodes and the passwords to get into them. And then in the terminal here, we are just going to run Docker Compose up. I'm actually, in a new terminal, I'm just going to type docker-compose up. I'm not going to do a -d. Oh, I see why. All right, gonna run a Docker Compose up. What the f? So save your file, and then in a terminal window, we're gonna run Docker Compose up, and it's gonna start working. And you're gonna see that it's signing in, successful, downloading, backing up, signing in, successful. And as long as this is running every 60 minutes, so every 1 hour, it will log in to whatever is the primary, back up the config, download it, and then push it to whatever is the secondary. So let's go make sure that that's working. So we added our DNS entry router.local into Pi-hole 1. We did not add it into Pi-hole 2. So if I come over here, go to local DNS, you can see it's there. We have it now. So that's how you sync your block list and your DNS between the two Pi-holes. But that's not high availability. That's just a sync. Anyone could do a sync. No, high availability is that if one Pi-hole goes down, the other one still works. You're going to open up Proxmox or whatever you're running your Pi-hole instances on. You want to type in apt install keep alive d. All one word. Keep alive d. Keep alive, if you want to think about it that way. I'm going to put a -y flag on there, and while that's downloading and doing its thing, I'm going to run over and do it on the other one. So both of these now have Keep Alive D. Let's jump back into VS Code. This is the kind of basic thing for this file. You can do more, you can do less. I'm going to go through it with you guys. So up here at the top, VRRP instance. This is where you're going to start the instance. VRRP, I don't know what it stands for, don't ask me. Basically, it's a protocol for virtual IPs or load balancing. Load balancing, in a sense. The real IT nerds are going to yell at me, but I'm making a video here for the common man. The everyday person that's just getting into home lab. It's a virtual IP, basically. And there's a protocol that allows a computer to run a virtual IP service. So in this case, we are starting an instance, we're naming it Pi-hole. So you can name it whatever you want. You just have to keep it consistent between the machines that you're running. So I'm naming this Pi-hole. I have all this documented in the code, and the README on the GitHub by the time the video goes live will hopefully be updated. So then we have the state. The state can either be master or backup. If it's master, it's going to be the primary. If it's backup, it's going to be the secondary. Interface. So this is going to be the name of the interface that you want it to monitor. So if you're running this on like a Raspberry Pi or a container like I am, you're only going to have one interface. I have name here because I don't know what Proxmox made the interface names for the two VMs, so we're just going to do that on the fly. Virtual router ID. This again can be any number, however it has to be the same between the two instances, or 3 or 4, however many you're running. Priority. So the priority can be any number you want it to be. You just have to keep in mind that the priority for the machine you want to be the master has to be higher than the priority you want to be the backup. Unicast IP and peer. You don't actually have to do this. It will multicast by default over your network, but if you want to keep some packets off your network and just direct them where they need to go, authentication. Authentication is one of those things, you can do it. You should do it. You don't have to do it. If you don't want to do it, just comment out this authentication portion or, remove the brackets and you're good. If you are going to use it, this is what you're going to run. Change this password. You should subscribe, but you should also change this password because it's not very secure. But again, if you don't care and you're just running this in a home lab, you can absolutely run this with no authentication. Virtual IP addresses. So this is actually going to be the VIP. Once we get this set up and working, this is what you're going to point your DNS at. And this is not actually what I'm pointing the video at. This is what I was playing with for my production system. So right now you can see I cannot ping that at all. It doesn't exist. But I can go in and I can ping .79 and I can ping 81. Once we get this set up, this VIP is going to get created. We will be able to ping this VIP and it will fail over. So let's jump into that. So you're going to want to come into the first Pi-hole instance, run this command. So you want to go nano /etsy/keepaliveD/keepaliveD.conf. This file probably will not exist, but we're going to create it. I'm going to grab from the bracket up to where my comment is that it says primary. The reason I'm keeping the primary in there, and I do this in production as well, you can tell really quickly by either the host name, because I set the host names differently in all my production servers with numbers if they're multi-servered, or by the virtual IP configuration file. So let's grab this. We have that copied, paste that in there. Make sure it all looks good. It does. We're going to save that. We're going to do the same exact thing on the other box, except this time when we copy this, I'm actually going to grab this, paste it in there. We got to change a couple things. So the first thing is, since I'm naming these, we're going to put secondary. We also need to put backup. I'll have to check to make sure this interface is right, but we'll check on that later. Set the priority down to 100. The source, we're going to set this to 81. And the peer, we're going to set to 79. So we want these two virtual IP services only really talking to each other. We don't want anyone else to be able to pick up on them. We don't want them congesting the network. We want them to just direct their stuff directly to each other. We change that. We have this. So those are the only things we need to change. So save that. So I was wondering what was going on here. You don't have to remove the comments. That's what I thought it was. So if you're doing this on Proxmox like I am, and you're doing this in a container, when you do the interface address, you do not need this at whatever. You just need ETH0. If you put the other thing, it breaks the script. So now we should be able to do this. Status, entering backup state, and then we can do system control status keep alive D. Entering master state. So let's see if I can ping this IP now. Hey, look at that. I can ping the IP now. So what happens if I go to this IP? You get a Pi-hole. Now we've synced our Pi-holes, so they will sync every hour, and you can change that. You can change it to sync every 5 minutes if you want, or you can extend it out to sync every 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, whatever you want. It's just a number of minutes. So you can see up here at the top, YouTube hole 1. Just to show you this, guys, I'm going to ping this IP. We're going to jump over to Proxmox because I want this to be like a critical error. I'm going to stop this VM. So just dead stop it. Oh, we're dropping packets. Oh, and they're back. So we dropped 4 packets and it's back up. So now if I come over here, refresh my page, hey, look at that. We still have DNS, except now we're on YouTube hole 2. If I come back over to Proxmox, start this up. So you can see this started up. We didn't even lose a ping, but now we're back to the YouTube hole 1. All right, guys, that's it. So if you set this up, you can do a highly available Pi-hole. The way I have this set up in my network is my primary Pi-hole is a VM container on my server, since usually the server's working. But just in case, for whatever reason, the server goes down, I have a backup. The backup is a Raspberry Pi Zero that is literally just hanging by its cord. It's not even Ethernetted, it's on Wi-Fi. Because I figured if the server is down and I have to use the backup DNS, there's a problem. Usually if the backup DNS gets used, it's for like 3 minutes while the server's rebooting while I'm doing something to it. that's how you can do highly available DNS. I use this. I love it. It's been great. The few times I do have a server problem, it's nice knowing that my network still works. Yeah, most of the services go down, but I have a plan for that. That's coming in a later video. But at least DNS still works. My mom can still get on the internet. I can still browse the internet. My internal stuff works because I have a lot of stuff that's not on the server. It's really convenient when the servers go down and I have to VPN in or whatever and fix it because I don't have to remember the IP. I have a lot of stuff on my network and I have 7 VLANs in my network. I do not know where some of my stuff is. DNS is a lifesaver. And because of that, I've come to rely on it. And with Gravity Sync no longer being a project that will be maintained after the update to Pi-hole 6, whenever that happens, Orbital Sync, it's going to have to replace my production system. And if it's going to replace my production system, I might as well make a video on it for you guys. So that was it. Let me know what you think about this format of like how-to. I tried to like plan things out a little bit. I set up a GitHub repo. I'm gonna import a lot of data from the video to the GitHub repo. Let me know what you guys think of this format. Is this something you guys like? I'm trying it out. I want to be more detailed and organized with my how-tos and whatnot. I'm trying to be more organized with everything, and part of how I'm doing that is coming in a later video. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'm Dylan, the Tech Guy. Keep it peaceful.